All right, so let's get started today's trade recap. I took two trades. One the first trade was a loss, and it was on CL. The CL log, and I took a win on ES. Partial win on most of my accounts actually, but yeah, a full on win on my main account, which is closer to PL. Yeah. Either way, so early coming into today, I did not really have like necessarily a bullish bias. Whereas like probably Trump speaking now, so really disregard what is happening. Yeah, I think he's speaking. Anyways, really disregard what's happening right now. Just look at purely PA. I really want to see this slate. I like this. So on HO, right? You have this daily swing point, which by the way, sales already failed to manipulate this high. This is Thursday's high from as we already traded through that, right? Look at this. It's this high, right? Very clearly showing signs of like failing to manipulate these highs, right? Keep trading higher. Right, so what do we do here? We engage with this, which is not a relevant swing, and that causes a deep retracement, capped off by, I believe, there is SMT. See, yeah, with this swing here, 1500. Right, but it's not really like a relevant swing, anything. So this to the point where I'm not really trusting this reversal, like when it's happening. But once we get a gap, right? Once we get this, look at this closure as well. Um, Once you get this closure here, right? Go back. Okay, that's interesting. And this candle here is PSP, right? Dude, like, I'm just expecting SMT fill. I'll go over like what I could have done better here. So this is the gap here, right? This candle is PSP, and it's like expansion candle on this asset, right? Look, so we already traded through this high. We're clearly failing to manipulate the high. Then we get this, right? We also get it, by the way. You also get it on RB. Now, ideally, take RB. This was a little bit better. And this can also close PSP, right? Look at RB. Look at RB, right? I just saw this like HO being closer to this high, right? So I saw this, right? Plus SMT fill as a strength switch for RB to hit this high, to go in for every asset to expand higher here. So when I drop the lower time frame, and it's really the one thing I really like about this trade is like we're not gonna form another 90 like my bad. We're not gonna form another 30-minute hourly gap here. So like if we're gonna reverse, this should hold. And it did held. So unfortunately just got reswept. I'm pretty sure it was because of news. Unexpected news release. So yeah. So initially it was like this. Yeah, it was here. These are not equal lows. That's not TFO. Right. And so what personally required to trade this is like every asset reversing. So here we're clearly reversing. The only thing is like it's not super V-shape. So I demand a gap. Once we get this gap, I put my limit over here, put my stop here. Could arguably put it a little bit lower. So that gave me 2R with this high, these equal highs here. Very, very obvious, like for me, this asset is V-shaping. Ideally take this asset, by the way. But you have to, like, I would have to wait, because this is not really line here with the HO. But at the time we create a gap on this asset, 845 here, right? I go to HO, which is trading inside of this hourly, right? I believe the hourly is right here. So it traded pretty deep into it. I'm still, like, I'm looking at the lower time frames here. This is just a retracement, right? That's all I'm seeing. This is, to me, it looks like a retracement. It's not really a reversal. Even though we start expanding a little with speed here, we're probably gonna form a 15-minute gap. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that wasn't so great about this trade. 845 is right here. Is that technically this hourly candle on this asset is probably, first of all, it doesn't support expansion higher, right? So we're very likely next candle is very like it depends though. There's still 50 minutes, by the way. It could still close as a C2. It's just we're probably gonna wait for a 9 to reverse, but it can happen, right? So I'm not seeing this again. I'll really protect the swing here, but yeah, it's like this as well. I believe this is that's the hourly gap. So it's a little bit weird, pretty deep retracement. But I'm still assuming that we are just retracing from equal highs after this V shape. Like, look at this, right? This looks like a reversal signature. No, right? This looks like small retracement. Even here, it's like there's only one gap. Look, right? There's only one gap. This is a retracement. So as soon as you get this, I'm very confident and CL is gonna get to this high. And so should RB, by the way. Eventually we didn't get there, but you see how CL is closer to it, right? So now this is like the asset that is pretty strongest because it also prints a gap, and I can trust this gap to hold. It should hold. And so what happens here is, again, very unlucky, but we get some sort of like news release, right? You can tell by this candle. I forgot indices is literally the same. So very large, sudden expansion candle that will wicks on both sides. Um, yeah, I couldn't find what news it was, like news release. Like, of course, there's nothing at 8:55. Like normally, there's no news at 8:30 either. Especially in oil, there's nothing on oil at this time of the day. So, yeah. So, I unfortunately, I can't really say if this trade would deliver or not. Normally, if because like this taught me out. So, I don't know. The fact that they deliver afterwards, though, it makes me think that the drawn liquidity was right. I just don't know if I would time it properly, even without this. So, but so drawn liquidity, very obvious. We did get there. This is all time highs as well. So I had them marked out again. I didn't want to like. Of course, I would not take in here like that. There's really no reason because I can get to whoever this high. And so yeah, that was my first trade, and was a loss. So let's go over indices here. Um, very clean framework. And unfortunately, it didn't deliver forward draw, but I'll go over why it was partial win. I mean, why I only TP'd on one of these accounts at 2R, and how I'm gonna do it moving forward because this trade did move quite a bit in my favor to the point where it would put me up almost 2R for the day, on every account. So just a mistake on my part. So I get this 2-stage here, which again, overall, where it's happening, I don't really like. But you have to respect it, right? Especially if it's met with expansion. So what we see here, so 1800, this 1800 opens low, puts in an irrelevant swing, right? This is just, I mean, it's not really a fair swing. It is a relevant swing compared to this, right? Which is a relevant swing to this low, just the current low of the week. No, wait, my bad. This is the current low of the week. This is what is this? Daily fair value? No, daily swing point. Yeah, this daily swing point, right? These are all spaced out lows. That's all I'm saying. Whatever. I don't know why I use that. To explain spaced out lows. So the only thing I'm looking here, like, is we're displacing a wick. Right, this 4-hour candle, very small wick, only supports expansion in one direction. Right, it's like these are the best trades. They always happen like this when multiple time frames are aligned and they only support expansion in one direction, and everything else is reshaping. And there's then there's like a very high probable sequence with a gap. That's literally all it is. Like if you look at, if this is a very good day to study. Now, unfortunately, we didn't deliver the full draw, and these are very close proximity SMT that normally shouldn't hold, but they can, right? But yeah, either way. So yeah, we get this 2-stage, right? I drop lower. I'm looking at potentially. I'm pretty sure this is where I got stopped out and see how SMT fill with this gap, right? Do we get that? No, every asset trades into the gap. All right, that I'm looking at like, okay, I know that at 9, we're gonna get a new 90-minute candle. So I'm looking at this gap now. Potentially, right? And we all, of course, I personally, I would always trade the asset that doesn't fill this gap because it's we're getting a pretty deep retracement. This is 6 time open, right? So this is a very deep retracement here. So of course, like this candle here, which is a new 90-minute, is gonna be able to. It should. I mean, most of the time, it should be able to expand a little bit more the smallest the wick it has, right? Because otherwise here, you could just bring it as a reversal. Now again, we're expecting some volatility still, so like you could probably trade like towards this low hanging fruit, but well. So either way, what do we get inside of this gap? And also before I do that, I'll show you lower time frame. This candle here, PSP, right? This is literally perfect. The asset that prints that like that's all. That's why I took ES. To me, there's very good reasoning. This is the only strength switch that, by the way, it should have held if we're gonna deliver this low. So now I'm thinking that we're probably gonna trade higher from here. Just because we retap the weekly open, right? This is the weekly open here. I'm just gonna track it like this. This weekly open, right? So we're respecting that. We're respecting the week opening gap. So also there's something interesting here. That I go over, but you can expect this to hit this low, even though it's having a deep retracement. Either way. So here I saw this, right? This kind of PSP, smallest gap out of NQ and yes. I'm not gonna show YM, it's very similar. It's just YM accelerated a lot quicker at open to where I could probably only take ES. But otherwise, yeah, you could also take YM. Like it's the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. This also has the smallest wick, but yeah, it just ended up consolidating here. Just unfortunate, but it can happen. Or so it's like this. And again, if I go to the lower time frame, right, this is the SMT fill. See how it expands too quickly. If you were able to get like 1 minute CSD here, sure, but like this 3 minute, it's kind of like too large of a stop loss for me. I would take ES because it's probably gonna expand toward the same drop, right? So yeah, so remove drawings here. And yeah, that's this what took. Right. So this is open, right? Right here, this 930 candle. We put SMT and be V-shaped lower. Now, ideally, you take the 5-minute CSD, which is what I marked. This is a little bit cleaner here. About to get a 3-minute, just because I have very, very high confidence that like if we should trade away from this, like it should happen like relatively quickly. It should happen like around here. Right? So what I did is I entered market. I initially had this stop loss here. But then I realized like there's like really no reason for me to have it there. I could just have it at EQ of this wick because we're really shouldn't come all the way up here. At that point, we're just reversing. I'm probably wrong. So I should just have it at Q. I enter the market right here. And again, this is something I'm going to be implementing from now on. I was going to try hold until previous low, which would have been this, right? There is. And that would have been even would have been 4R. Or so from now on, I'll only take trades that are between 2R and 3R. So here, for example, well, 2R, 3R, 2R draw liquidity, 2R draw liquidity. So here, can I get 2R with this low? No, right? Can I get 3R with this? No, 3R is way sooner than that, way earlier, right? So I'm just gonna take this trade and just close it 3R. Just I actually literally around where close on my fund. I think it's 2.5R was like close on my funded. So I just should just close it at 3R. Just what I'm gonna be doing onwards. By the way, we got very high probable sequence here. I got trailed out. I don't remember where I had my stop loss. I think once we did, I think it's once we CSD'd on. Wait, I think there's a 5-minute. Yeah, once we CSD'd on 5-minute, I'll put my stop loss like pretty aggressively around here. Yeah, it was like around here, and I don't remember if it was the bodies or not. But it's around 1 hour, and unfortunately got wicked out and it delivered. on the other accounts, by the way, not on my Infinite. I'm gonna show execution this. This is the account that I really care about because again, it's closer to a payout, and it's the one I've been trading since December. So yeah, I really don't give a shit about the other accounts that are just brand new on it. So yeah, I guess I should give a shit a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, very simple. And once I see this, right? So new week opening gap can either be used as support or should be used as like quote unquote support or resistance, right? Look how quickly we flushed through this, right? Let me check. Oh, it opens here. There it is. There it is. I'll go 1 minute. It's probably better. Either way, you can tell here, once we flush through this and we come back to quote unquote retest it, right? There's no body closures above it. This is a very clear telling that we should go lower and hit this low. We're probably gonna go lower and hit this low. If you're seeing this, right? You see how we can't really displace or like it's V shape, and then we kind of start like chopping around here. When there's like the wicks above it, no body closures, this is a very good sign that this is gonna hold probably, and we're definitely gonna deliver the draw. I still trailed. I was a little bit emotional here. Because yeah, I mean, since I was down, um, on this trade, because of this trade, I was kind of pissed a little bit. I didn't really act on it, where I don't know, re-enter immediately and like, I don't know, something like that, I chased. I didn't do that, so, but I really wanted this draw, and yeah, just once I saw this comeback all the way up here, my stop loss was break even, by the way, on the other accounts. So yeah, it's on here. Once I saw this, I was like, ah, man, just fuck it. I'm just gonna trail here pretty aggressively. At least I can salvage this. But yeah, um, but this is a very good signature here. If you took NQ and you see this, this is very good. Right. This is when you want to see if you're gonna deliver this low, which is like super close. So if I was in this trade, by the way, I would close it at this low, just because this is not a really good signature of a reversal. Probably could be a retracement. I don't know. But now we do have SMT with this high time frame. It's still inside the new week opening gap, I believe. Yeah, as you can see, ES really closed above it as well. So it's kind of contradicting. It's just mainly in Q that I respected this. So yeah, I mean, going forward, I will only take trades between 2R and 3R. I think kind of anything above that is definitely gonna drastically decrease my win rate, which especially if I'm trading fun accounts, I really don't want to have. Also here like this, I'll add consistency in terms of like where I take profit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Definitely gonna be a good change in my trading. It's gonna be a little challenging because I gotta hold. Like the problem here is that this ran literally 3R, came back almost to break even. So I was like, man, this shit's probably gonna hit my break even, and it didn't. Right, it would not held. So I should just not trail, just let it hit my break even. Yeah, this would be a 3R, if not a little bit more, right? Because we could close at this low as well. So yeah, that's gonna be really nothing for gold and silver. Just consolidate here. So at this job here, really nothing to trade here. Especially if you look at the daily, this is just it was almost a double inside there. Which is, I mean, it actually still is on gold. So you didn't want to trade this. We want to see what happens. We have a gap here. Equal lows. I think there might be SMT there. See, no, there's an equal lows on every single one of these assets. Just disregard this day because yeah, on Forex, where this was in a bank holiday, apparently these two providers were those assets. But yeah. All right, so that's it.